Alan Dershowitz, one of Epstein's former lawyers, is talking about the new charges and more in his first TV interview since Epstein's indictment. Dershowitz defended Epstein against sex abuse allegations in Florida more than a decade ago. One of Epstein's accusers now, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, claims she was forced to have sex with Dershowitz as part of Epstein's alleged sex trafficking operation. Dershowitz says Giuffre and her lawyer, David Boies, falsely accused him as part of an elaborate extortion scheme. Giuffre is now suing him for defamation. Mola Lenghi spoke to Dershowitz last night at his New York City apartment. That would be Dershowitz's apartment, not Mola's. Mola, what did Alan have to say?
Well, good morning, Tony. Yeah, Alan Dershowitz vehemently denies the allegations brought against him by Virginia Giuffre. He says he had no idea about the extent of the allegations against Jeffrey Epstein when he took on his case back in 2008. But he says defending controversial clients is just part of the job.
Did you ever see Mr. Epstein with underage girls?
No. Oh, no. If I had ever seen Jeffrey Epstein in any inappropriate situation with an underage girl, I would have terminated my relationship and turned him in. No way.
So you're obviously surprised by the allegations.
We were shocked by the allegations, but as a criminal lawyer, being shocked by an allegation doesn't mean that I won't defend somebody.
Alan Dershowitz helped negotiate what many have criticized as a lenient plea deal for Jeffrey Epstein in 2008. Dershowitz denies the deal was a bargain, instead arguing prosecutors lacked the evidence to indict Epstein for federal sex trafficking charges.
They thought they would lose, so they
made
cut
a deal.
this deal.
And for them, it was not a bad deal. They got him to be a registered sex offender, to pay vast amounts of money to all of the women, and to get him to plead and go to jail and expose him for the world to see as a sex offender. I think the feds thought it was the best they could do.
An in-depth investigation by the Miami Herald in November uncovered police records alleging Epstein molested dozens of underage girls. One detective told the paper the evidence supporting the girls' claims was overwhelming.
Obviously, there's a lot of talk about this being a result of Mr. Epstein's wealth and power. Do you think anyone else would have gotten this sort of deal?
Oh, I think a lot of people without the power and wealth might have gotten a better deal. His prominence, his fame, made it clear that the prosecution would work very hard to get the best possible deal they could. Look, wealth is a two-edged sword. It helps you put together a very good legal team, but it also puts you in the public eye in a way that makes the prosecution work very hard.
But this deal was kept very much under the wraps.
I had nothing to do with that part of it.
But legal, ethical, you'd go back and make the same deal and you think it was all squared away.
I would try to get a better deal. The job of a criminal defense attorney is to try to get the best possible deal.
Part of the immunity deal left open the avenue for civil charges to be brought up against Mr. Epstein. Any idea how many civil cases have been brought against him, how much money has been paid out?
I wasn't involved at all in the financial aspects of it. I'm a criminal lawyer, not a civil lawyer, but from what I know, tens of millions of dollars were paid out to many, many alleged victims.
Dershowitz is seeking to throw out a defamation lawsuit brought against him by Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who accuses him of participating in Epstein's alleged sex trafficking ring. Dershowitz says he has proof Giuffre is lying.
The same woman that accused me claimed to have had dinner with Bill Clinton and two underage girls on Jeffrey Epstein's island, claimed to have met Al Gore and Tipper Gore's Secret Service records show that all of that is fantasy and made up. This is a woman with a long, long record of lying for money.
Well, overnight, Giuffre filed opposition papers in a motion to dismiss her lawsuit, opposing Dershowitz's motion to dismiss her lawsuit. Her lawyers say that Dershowitz is intentionally lying about her in an effort to discredit her and also to intimidate her into silence, Tony.
Mola, thank you very much. Dershowitz is also saying that these are politically motivated charges against him.
We should remind people that a court has determined that that plea deal was illegal, in part because the victims were never notified about it.
I'm also curious about his definition of a better deal, because what we're hearing seems like a pretty good deal.
It's also noteworthy that Dershowitz is talking about weak evidence, but not about an innocent client.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.